This is BBC One.
The 1970s were often heralded as being the golden age of television. The medium had truly come into its own, and in the UK, the two main broadcasters, the BBC and ITV, were pumping out classic programmes on the daily. A lot of these shows wouldn't be made today for a whole variety of reasons, but both broadcasters have adapted and continue to make new classics to this very day. However, one aspect of 1970s TV culture that was seen as quite risque at the time was the notion of a Christmas tape. In the depths of Television Centre, in the VideoTape, or VT department, engineers would craftily gather outtakes from all of the corporation's output in order to show them in-house at Christmas time. It wasn't just bloopers either. Original sketches featuring very well recognised and respected BBC talent also made its way onto these tapes. They were never meant for public consumption. They were never meant to be seen outside the walls of the BBC. But, as is often the nature of these things, it was. This is the story of the original BBC VT Christmas tape. The year is 1978, and a young videotape engineer called Grant Watkins had an idea. He had seen the festive tapes from the BBC's rivals at ITV, and it's fair to say they were rather crude, to say the least. Grant wanted the focus to be more geared towards the humorous mistakes of the BBC staff and talent. Bolstered by this idea, Grant would not only make sure the various bloopers were gathered together, but had no restraint in asking anyone and everyone at the BBC if they would be involved in a different sort of way. A feature you'll see in the 1978 Christmas tape, as well as subsequent editions, is the stars of the corporation taking part in original short sketches or skits, which are often very tongue-in-cheek, riddled with innuendo, and more often than not contain a swear word or two. Very much unheard of in the days of 1970s BBC television.
How long, K9?
Insufficient data.
Yeah, you never know the answer when it's important.
Here is the news. As a gesture of goodwill, the BBC will be paying its staff a Christmas bonus this year in Monopoly money. As a result, only one new programme is going to be made. And here it is.
The inaugural Christmas tape was titled White Powder Christmas, which I think just gives you an indication of what sort of content you're in for here. The introduction was by respected newsreader Kenneth Kendall, and it certainly would have caught a regular 70s viewer off guard had they ever seen it. The titles, if you can call them that, feel very familiar for a BBC programme of the day, with shots of idents, clocks, holding slides, and indeed a look at the various programmes that were the output of the BBC back in the late 70s. The intro is virtually harmless, and had you missed the double entendre of a countdown card, then you may be fooled into thinking you were watching some sort of documentary on the Beeb. The intro from a Santa-dressed VT engineer pulls back the curtain on the more tongue-in-cheek nature of this tape.
We have now for you a selection of the good, the bad, and the ugly, which if it wasn't for us, you may never have seen. Actually, this isn't a bad idea. I'm surprised the Beeb hasn't thought of it already. Mr. Cotton! Mr. Cotton!
Ladies and gentlemen, the department that totally supports the rest of television talent proudly presents White Powder Christmas.
Oddly enough, we are then treated to several clips from a completely different film, a non-BBC one at that.
This building is unsafe!
I believe these are from the 1977 spoof flick Kentucky Fried Movie, which truly needs to be seen to be believed. Then we get a classic bit of self-deprecation.
Good evening. We've got an action-packed evening for you tonight on Thames. But right now, here's a rotten old BBC programme.
This is BBC One. The TARDIS lands again at 7:20 p.m., this time on the planet of Herne, where the invincible Time Lord Doug Who encounters the sinister Shed Elevenoids. And at 8 p.m, The Good Life, showing that self-sufficiency is possible anywhere outside the BBC.
And if you were wondering about Nationwide,
we seem to have temporarily lost Nationwide. Let's see what's on too. And now the good news. Due to an industrial dispute, no programmes will be shown.
let's see a few bloopers.
Well, we seem to have temporarily lost that programme, but meanwhile we continue with White Powder Christmas.
Do loyally offer my loyalty to the king. Oh, learn it. Humbly, humbly.
Did you say that Angela Rippon's breasts were larger than Melvyn Bragg's?
They're just further from the ground, that's all. She's...
We've just heard that Swedish massage... Sorry, I'll have to repeat that again, if I may. We have just... Okay. We've just heard that Swedish Massage Parlours Limited... I can't tell if I'm saying... I'll give you an answer. Okay, I've got quite warm thinking.
Hey, listen, I didn't say the BBC Christmas tapes had no nudity, just far less than the other side, reportedly. More bloopers follow, randomly cut in with scenes from Kentucky Fried Movie once again. I suppose its parodies around television of the day over in the States does sort of fit the bill of the tape, but it feels pretty strange that it keeps popping up here. Moving on, we know Miss Piggy from The Muppets has always been a bit of a flirt, but did you ever think you'd see her like this with Michael Parkinson?
You do tend to get a bit aggressive at times, I've noted. I mean, you've got this very...
Well, your wife told me you left Dad.
Oh.
Lift him up, kid. I have never in my life... Those are exquisite.
After some contextless clips and more Kentucky Fried Movie footage, we return to Kenneth Kendall, who is frequently joined throughout the tape by none other than Michael Crawford, playing his popular character Frank Spencer from the sitcom Some Mothers Do Have 'Em. And I have to know where he got that jumper from.
Mr. Kimball? You haven't got it again? But that's the third time this month.
After brief appearances from my dear old dad Noel Edmonds and Kenny Everett in the radio studio, we're back to some good old goofs.
Life goes on. That's the wrong line.
Oh, Miss Selkins.
Yes?
You tripped over the wire.
This was the noblest Roman of them all the conspirators, save only he, did that they did in envy of great Caesar.
Good afternoon, dear lady.
Smarmy, old man.
Oh, I do beg your pardon. I did not wish to so appear.
What?
I merely wish to purchase a reviving... Oh, God.
These grapes are delicious, George.
Patient doesn't look much wrong. Oh, I'm so sorry.
If these weren't fun enough, get ready for a dance sequence.
Well, now let's change the mood a little and listen to a few musical numbers.
Excuse me, Mr. Bendall.
Yeah. I beg your pardon?
Excuse me, sir. You know Slob Dungmore from...
Very well, yes.
From VT Control.
Yeah, mate of mine, yeah.
Very pongy down there. Are you free for a mule relief in VT 14?
Not 14. Draw the line at 14.
He's trouble. Could you step this way, Mr. Bendall?
One that is as 1978 as you can get, performed by the MEMOREX Cloggers. And it goes on, and on, and on. Larry Grayson puts in an appearance next, where a very embarrassing wardrobe malfunction happens to one of the poor dancers. We're firmly into the musical section of White Powder Christmas, complete with sleazy 70s love songs and some karate moves?
Like that. I didn't do that! Yes, you did! Ha!
And a fair job at a balancing act to top it off.
You comes between me and
Back to original sketches, it seems even family favourite Doctor Who isn't safe. And this won't be the last we see of the Doctor, Romana or K9 on this tape either. Over halfway in though, by this point the amount of Kentucky Fried Movie footage is becoming a little tiresome. However, what follows is a clip that would get the VT crew, as well as the BBC itself, into a royal round of trouble.
Have you yourself ever experienced any sex?
No, I don't think so.
A segment featuring Princess Anne, crudely edited so it seems like she's being asked a question about sex, may have produced a funny outcome for a private Christmas party, but this one made it out to the press. And it's fair to say that readers, publications, and indeed the royal family were most displeased with the revelation.
I got a phone call at home to say we're on the front page, and I just went white.
Nearly 50 years on, it's a very minor parody, in my view, and far worse has been parodied of the royal family since 1978, but I can imagine that back then, for this to be done in private only for it to leak out would have been quite the embarrassment for Her Majesty's national, publicly funded broadcaster. We'll talk more about the controversies of the Christmas tapes a little later, but now back to the scheduled programming, and a rather bizarre intro for Match of the Day.
We appear to have lost that programme due to lack of finance.
The BBC requires engineers to work in the London area and regional centres, in videotape recording, television studios and switching centres.
After a quick flash of breasts for no real reason whatsoever, we've got ourselves some news from the weather team, taking a few jabs at the BBC itself.
It's fiddling down out here.
Just to the southwest of us here, the temperatures are nearer 12 degrees centigrade. That's 54 degrees Fahrenheit. And that milder air there is associated with these fronts here.
Good afternoon to you. Well, as you can see, we still have this persistent depression over the television centre. In other parts, things aren't too bad, really. We're still getting these changeable decisions from the presentation department. A good deal of wind, too, from sports department, as usual. But in other parts, things are looking up, really. Quite bright prospects in store for the Yorkshire area, for the Granada area as well, and for ATV. In these areas, things really are bright in prospect. Now, one thing that I've got to remind you about the weather is that it's pretty wet underfoot, especially if you've been to the club. And another thing that you ought to be told is that a red sky at night simply means that your autochroma is out of range. Well, that's today's weather. Let's have a look at tonight's weather now. And of course, there isn't any weather tonight because, like everything else in Television Centre, the weather isn't allowed to work after midnight. But I do have a couple of cold fronts to show you.
After some more goofing from Kendall and Crawford, more bloopers follow.
You're going to like these. They're real crackers.
I've lost the key. It's gone right down.
What's wrong? Something with the gun.
Well, what do you say about that?
I'm never coming out. It'll take me a lifetime to get in here now, and I'm...
Keep going. Just for rehearsal.
It's all right, I can't see the order queue for the bloody snow.
Even children's TV isn't safe.
You obviously feel that one should be awarded.
And finally, Esther, I'm extremely sorry that I, like many other music lovers, missed the programme advertised in the Ipswich Evening Star on BBC Two at 8:55.
And after all that, it's time for the tape to be closed off, with a lot of thanks from various faces to the boys down in VT.
Thank you very much indeed. Happy Christmas to you all in VT. Also, hope you like the sweaters. 14 blind nuns sat up 4 nights knitting these. Thank you.
This is Mike Yarwood, but on behalf of Bill Cotton, I'd like to wish all the boys in VT a very Merry Christmas. Okay? Okay, mates? Bless you.
And Merry Christmas to our VT engineers.
And Merry Christmas to our VT engineers.
And Merry Christmas to our VT engineers.
Merry Christmas to all the boys in VT. Power to the people!
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas,
to VT!
Thanks, fellas!
And of course, because it's still 1978, another song and dance number.
Well, that was the delightful Legs & Co. performing down in the videotape area. And for our final message, because of an industrial dispute, this recording is taking place in the Nationwide studio. But from all of us in Sports Department, we'd like to wish our very good friends in videotape, those magicians who save our bacon week in, week out, a very warm greeting from all of us, a very happy Christmas and a good New Year. God bless you all.
After Frank Boff delivers a hearty farewell, the credits roll, which are quite funny in their own right, but because there's topless dancing women in the background, I can't really show you them here. However, decades before they were common, the BBC Christmas tape gives us the joy of a post-credit scene, featuring none other than the Doctor, Romana and K9.
Drink K9?
Bet you'll never see this TARDIS team in the same way again.
And that ends the BBC TV Christmas tape. Let's hope it provides just a little incentive for you to work here.
In retrospect, the 1978 BBC Christmas tape isn't all that bad, is it? I mean, when a fair chunk of your 40-minute runtime is just unedited clips from a barely remembered comedy film from the US, how bad can it be? But the mythos and reputation of the Christmas tapes continues to linger amongst those who are interested in broadcast history and the BBC as a whole. You also have to put yourself back into the context of the time. Take again the clip of Princess Anne. In today's context, it's a relatively harmless gag that some would consider cheap and crude. But back in 1978, when this sort of deliberate misinterpreting hadn't been done before, it would have been quite the boundary break had it aired for real in front of millions. There were some positive effects spawned from the inaugural BBC tape, would you believe? This included influencing Not the 9 o'clock news, an extremely popular programme in its day. Also, the quote-unquote quality of the tape, which basically means it wasn't straight-up pornography throughout, encouraged ITV companies to smarten up their efforts a bit.
Have you seen Bungle's twanger?
I'm the best plucker here.
Jane's got two lovely maracas.
And welcome. My special guest tonight is one of the most popular singers in the world, and I'm not going to get through this because he's telling me that it's gone wrong. It's what's called in the BBC handbook a technical cock-up.
So despite royal rumbles and the rather risque nature of some of the material, the BBC Christmas tape would live on.
It's the most reliable but expensive and sophisticated machinery in the technological world.
Bollocks! Young VT engineer Grant Watkins wanted the second annual Christmas tape to be bigger, better, and perhaps push the boundaries that little bit further. We've already explored the inaugural tape from 1978 in depth, but now it's time to take a look at what is perhaps the best remembered BBC Christmas tape of them all. For this is the story of Good King MEMOREX.
There'll be further comment on the budget in the evening news at 5:40.
1979 marked the end of a triumphant decade in BBC television. Like the industry at large, they'd had their problems. A reduced schedule thanks to the electricity limits, a series of strikes led by trade unions, but in that same decade, their output of programming was unmatched in certain genres. With their main rival ITV being knocked off air by strike action for more than 3 months, 1979 felt like a victory lap for the BBC. Would that year's Christmas tape reflect that? Let's find out.
Programmes this Christmas Eve on BBC Two at 1. Our souls. Oh, Warwick, can we do a take two on that again?
Surely the greatest trailer of all time.
This is BBC One, and this is BBC Two, and this is Television Centre, and this is David Dunsbury, a commissionaire on the main gate, and this is the main gate.
This is Good King MEMOREX, a show with a royal title featuring no royalty whatsoever after what happened last year.
Also, just to say now, this tape does unfortunately have some unsavoury characters pop up, such as Jimmy Savile and Rolf Harris. I'll be aiming to not include clips featuring them, but some are placed within montages, so be aware that their mugs may pop up briefly, unfortunately. Okay, time for some bloopers. Or, as so eloquently put here...
Do you want to start again?
The biggest boobs around the BBC.
Let go. Let go.
Doesn't it make you sick?
More boobs.
Open it for me.
Would you like more information about work experience? Well, phone this number.
Since the early 60s, scientists in Street had been experimenting with chemicals, which would, when they're stirred together, and let me give this a really good stir, very good stir. Now, when they're mixed together, they expand to form a strong, light, that's hot, flexible sole. God, I'm sorry. I'm really suffering.
Water,
It's
please,
burning me.
7-9. I'll just have a look.
Thank you, madam. Well, the chimney's open. I wonder if it should be swept.
The bird forgot the camera.
I don't think either of you are in a position to advise anyone.
What do you want?
Madeleine?
And again, please.
Is it possible when they make door handles, they don't put them right on the door jamb?
If anyone amongst you knows... Merry Christmas, VT.
More boobs.
You always were a big tit man.
Don't be ridiculous, Basil.
Get away from this door and don't you dare try and come in here tonight.
Well, it's a rat. Pigeon. That's a rat. No, it's hamster. It's a rat, of course it's a rat. You have rats in Spain, don't you? Or did Franco have them all shot? It's pigeon. It's a rat. It's not a pigeon, it's a hamster. Ladies and gentlemen, there have been a lot of cock-ups this morning. You all deserve an explanation, and I'm happy to say that my wife will give it to you.
Mr. Thurston is the gentleman I'm dealing with at the moment.
What?
Mr. Richards is the gentleman... Oh,
And that's all from us. A very good night to you, wherever you may be. Good night.
And for those of you who liked the intro last time, here it is.
This is BBC One.
And now, nationwide. How insightful. Time for more bloopers.
One of the links with the Bruges of the old days, when Bruges was a port and 150 vessels a day came into its waters. Well, they've got another port now at Verburgh, further upstream, and the who was that?
Hello again from Walter and me. Well, we put this to the Department of Employment and they went backwards. And as you know, we try not to get things mixed up between left and right, especially during the election period when people have to make their choice. put it down on top of my script. And as you know, we try to keep our balance between left and right, especially during elections, when people have to make their choice. Quite right, Mr. Hurst. Although I assure you that the colour of my carnation...
The most BBC outburst ever.
Part bum and knickers.
This is not the 9 o'clock news, and I'm not Angela Rippon.
No, I am.
How about a sensual weather forecast?
The sun is out. The sky is blue. There's not a cloud to spoil the view, but it's raining. It's raining on my chart. And during the next 24 hours, this rain is going to continue to move southeastwards. In 1 or 2 places later on, though, you could find some fog patches.
And around on to patches of mist and fog forming in many inland areas as well. And then on to tomorrow as well. Another basically...
Already, though, at the beginning of the day, you will find 1 or 2 showers dotted about here and there. And as the day goes on, I think you're going to find these showers will tend to become heavier and more frequent. And many of them could well turn out later on in the day to be fairly thundery with some... oh dear, these bloody... Let's do it again.
Don't worry, Michael. I'm sure this won't be the last goof you make regarding the weather. Right?
Good afternoon to you. Earlier on today, apparently, a woman rang the BBC and said she heard that there was a hurricane on the way. Well, if you're watching, don't worry, there isn't.
Upstairs in our hallowed heights of news, we decided to come down into main block VT, into the bowels of the earth, to find out what makes these VT blokes tick. Men who work in areas like this. Fancy working in a place called VT24 all your life. No sunshine, nobody to talk to. No wonder they're so pallid and wan, or even two.
Here's my story, it's sad but true.
Now, one of the more interesting features of Good King MEMOREX is that we have original songs. I wonder if these were being made on company time.
Listen, people, what I'm telling you, I keep away from M-Suite 2.
I don't think you'd be seeing those guys on Top of the Pops anytime during the late 70s.
Work Avalone and Seven Come Cruise, they keep away from M-Suite 2. Rip, scratch.
Here now on BBC One, Engelbert Humperdinck.
Engelbert Humperdinck is next up on the music schedule, with not everything going his way.
And all I have lived now, I better do it again. Hell of a singer and a powerful man. You gotta do it quicker than that. I can't see it. Try to stay young with the songs you sung.
So this is the latest and most sophisticated in the world.
Well, this is it. The BBC are the first people to actually have it. Based on integral subsystem considerations, the characterisation of specific criteria requires considerable systems analysis to anticipate the 4th generation equipment.
Does it have a Commodorium base as well?
Oh no, this crystal-controlled binary time-based corrector, which microprocessor controls the actual transport machinery so that it actually stops any flashes from reaching the output.
Does it have a multi-dependent anthrax modulator, retarding diphthong differential with inveterate omniaxial enveloper and overhang paracetamol agnostic flanger?
Even a sports panic button.
That sounds infallible.
Well, that's right. It's the best machine the BBC have. And it's the most reliable but expensive and sophisticated machinery in the technological world.
Bollocks! If you thought a Dalek swearing was outrageous enough, just you wait. But now for a legendary continuity announcement.
Oh, Christ, this is the BBC again. And now, from the depths of syphilis, see if you can stand this crap.
Hi everyone, we've got the music if you've got the time. It's Top of the Pops, here's the chance and the dooley!
Doesn't it make you sick?
A comedic song follows, taking aim at the poor sports team, sung by Susie Quantel.
'Cause he's a sports PA. His program's never okay.
Before we know it, back to bloopers.
That is fantastic. I hope you like the doolies.
No, not yet.
What were all these embarrassing blush-making questions that you asked?
What then is the mood tonight in the Soviet capital? Kevin Ruane is the BBC correspondent in Moscow. Mr. Ruane, the papers here are saying that Soviet troops have been put on the alert. Is that so?
I wouldn't put it as much as that. The impression I get is this, that at the moment, Moscow wants to exploit the whole situation to its advantage.
Thank you very much indeed, and welcome to Question Time for 60 minutes of topical argument stimulated by our invited audience. And to answer their questions, I have here beside me a very mixed bag.
Travelling Light was a simple little tale about a girl and her dog and their secret adventures.
And at the front, there's Tina and me in 28 different positions, so you can trace us standing up or sitting down.
Opening positions. Now. Right, Ron, give me a shot of Enge. Close up. Quickly, please. Quick. This is for VT's Christmas programme. Eddie, any news? What's happening?
VT's just recording this on their new VPR2 machine, Stuart.
Jesus, I like that.
Like last year, even children's programmes aren't safe from suggestive editing. In fact, if you want suggestive innuendos, then brace yourself.
One button won't keep the wind out, do up two. Two buttons won't keep the wind out, do up three. Three buttons won't keep the wind out, do up four. Four buttons won't keep the wind out, do up five.
We'll always be bosom buddies, friends, sisters and pals. We'll always be bosom buddies.
And it grew, and it grew, and it grew. Mine are getting a bit tired. How are you doing? Something sticky. Something sticky.
As we've seen, too much of that seems to slow down production.
Quickly, Eddie, we'll have to abort this if you can't get discipline. Right, silence! Quiet! Cue Enge.
Happy Christmas, everybody.
Happy Christmas, everybody!
Halfway through, and oddly for the BBC, we have a commercial break. These aren't proper commercials, of course, but let's see what products is going to be pushed to us. How about VTT, supposedly drinkable all over Europe?
The most beautiful drink in the world. It's the right one. It's the bright one. It's VTT. Anytime, any place, anywhere, there's a wonderful world you can share in the bright one. The right one, that's VTT.
Now, whose money was spent taking this paper cup about the continent, I wonder? Can't imagine the BBC bosses would have been best pleased about that. But I do now fancy a cup of VTT.
That's VTT.
And now, a word from my dear father, Noel Edmonds.
There, I've got a very short time to tell you a lot, because tomorrow we have a scintillating edition of the Swap Shop. Dr. Gareth Hunt will be dropping in, telling us about things going on in outer space. Marvellous music from Dana, from Racy and 10cc. Keith will be around, of course, John with his news, and Maggie will be visiting one of the smallest cameraman training centres in the world.
I want danger money!
Remember the front page story from the Sunday People about the Princess Anne clip from last year? Well, here's the VT team taking a merciless aim at it.
It's all in the royal edition of the Sunday People. Tits, bum, sex. In this special Right Royal Christmas edition, we show how we take trivial issues and turn them into national scandals. It's all in the Royal Sunday People. Sports.
I'm looking down on them. Most of them are wearing rubbers.
Sex.
I keep my legs apart. Yes, it's awfully hot in here.
It's all in the Sunday People.
Young men are dying for it.
If I sit on it now, I'll get it under control.
And this week we reveal the lengths people go to get a BBC car pass, and an interview with a lady who plays the national anthem on her breasts. And who is Doug Who? We speak to the man who's actually seen him.
This is for you.
From who?
Doug.
Doug Who? That's right. Find out in the Royal Sunday People, the Miss World contest.
I see, it's a very big one.
How big is it? Huge.
It's huge. I can't get it in.
Wasn't long enough.
It was too big for me.
It's too short. Goes in one ear and out the other.
Now I'll be down the biggest hole in Britain.
It's all in the Sunday People.
Doesn't it make you sick?
Oh, I've got a very short time to tell you an awful lot.
Oh, it's very short.
Merry Christmas, VT!
Part 2 begins with a classic bit of Doctor Who.
No sign of immediate life. The corpse on the left, however, is recent. What?
Followed by his archenemy in a way you've never seen them before.
Let me probe your procamp, lick your lockout, you randy bitch. Not tonight, mate. Come on, just a quick feel of your tips. I want to titillate your time base and erect your equalizers. Get lost, you mechanical moron. Let me fondle your dropout compensator. I told you, I got the hit clock. VT-43 told me you were a real exterminator. Look, don't get excited. You know what happened last night.
I quite literally have no words. Anyway, let's get back to some gaffes.
It was the thing that came into my mind. I was going to say he's getting into bed with Mrs. Thatcher.
We didn't, Jimmy, in those days.
I've yet to speak to someone who is satisfied, who thinks I'll book a dub so they can change their mind, a viewing room so they can see their new remounts, who thinks I know what auto tariff's all about. Well, they're out of luck. I just passed the buck. 4050.
Here, Chris. Michael Wells just refused to do anything for our Christmas tape. Well, cancel his edit then.
So is that Miss Maxim.
Well, let's cancel his bloody session then.
And so is Alan Boyd.
And so is John Fisher. Oh, hello, John. What can I do for you?
You have another hour's editing time for Match of the Day, Jimmy.
Oh, well, I think we're going to have to ask the supervisor behind you.
Bloody spot PA.
How many cameras are there in the Cypher suite? Is it true the VPRs are obsolete? These silly questions have a strange effect on me, especially those concerned with bookings in VT. They wonder why there's never edit time. I'm puzzled by the shortage now, I must confess. It always seems to reoccur around Christmas and cause the BBC to raise the license fee. 4050.
Good control. No more edit time. OK, Chris, I've finished recording Danky Jacker's Christmas message. Hey.
And I've got one from the Ayatollah as well.
Wonderful.
I've checked Anthony Blunt's Christmas message and it's fine.
Do you think we can empty Brentford of all the Christmas message tapes now?
I'll finish with Lord Dennington's Christmas tape. We're going to start recording Prince Charles now, all right?
Me? Did you want me?
You rotten sod. That's good, so long as there's no royalty this year.
Tonight on BBC One, and the first of a new series, I shall start unravelling the truths which give the lie to some of our most famous and infamous legendary heroes. For instance, did Dick Turpin ever ride to York in a horse called Black Bess? Excuse me. Cut. Hello.
Hello? Bill Cotton on line 6?
Oh, hell. So really it's been non-stop ever since the awards.
The award for the best group or band.
More music follows, performed by last year's favourites, Legs and Company.
When we got down there, they were a real disgrace. We thought, nice legs, shame about the face.
For some reason, this.
Hello, Nick. Have you seen Spill 9,556,542 recently?
Not lately, no.
Oh.
Bloopers, bloopers, and yes, more bloopers.
I said spools.
Oh, what a wonderful thing to be, a healthy grown-up, busy me, buzzing around every day. Oh my goodness, I've mucked it up.
And talking of cock-ups, here's some that my girlfriend collected this year. Steady, baby!
If you get it wrong, you'll get it right next time.
Phew, that was close. The sooner they get rid of those silly programmes, the better they ruin the commercials.
Advertising is the disease of capitalist decadence.
I didn't think that was that funny. Phew, that was close. The sooner they get rid of those silly programmes, the better they ruin the commercials.
Advertising is the disease of capitalist decadence.
Nonsense is the prize. I've gone again. Good luck to him, say I. Good luck, Graham, I say. Oh, yes, and whom can he thank? Her. Yes, you, Mum. Oh, yes. I can tell you that. I've gone again.
With any luck, won't be long now before we have Charlotte back where she belongs.
Thank you very much.
She farted.
I didn't, I gurgled.
Gee, oh, I see.
I think we ought to have one more, don't you?
That's incredible.
No. Look, we've got to get you over this water.
Oh, God.
Steady, 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 steady. Oh. We'll have another one.
God.
No, we have one more. Right, now this is the one.
Oh, God.
You've done him again. Oh. No.
My God, fellas.
No, no, we can't have that one either, really. No, we're gonna have one more.
We don't get slopes like this at Wimbledon Common.
Yeah, it's a great idea. I had no idea you could do it. What we really do want... No, I'd like to say that again. I had two ideas in the first sentence. That's going to sound bad, isn't it? Sorry. Take two. That's a great idea to write some special music for our star guests next week, but Cliff Richard, Alan Price, they're all right. They've got their own music. What we need is something for David Attenborough. Need something big, strong, enormous crescendo of sound. You know, a bit like the end of the 1812, but the beginning of the 930.
I've got it. I've
Have
got
you?
just the thing here.
Something really strong.
I think I've got the thing here.
Mm-hmm. I know he likes animals, but that's ridiculous. He only had half a life.
Merry Christmas, all in VT.
Thank you. Now, I've always been lucky in having wonderful guests on my show, and tonight is no exception, because my guests are two of the funniest... And tonight is no exception, because my next guests are two of the funniest men in the business. I know this because they told me so. Ladies and gentlemen, meet Lenny Bennett and Jerry Stevens. Now, piss off!
Girl, we made it to the top. It's not really very good, that, is it? I'll try it once more. Girl, we made it to the top now. Girl, we made it. No, sorry, I wasn't really ready there. The gold ring from the carousel. No, I've forgotten the words again.
Time for more music now, one more aimed at VT themselves.
Happy Christmas, VT! We love you all!
I can't hit it at that speed. I've not been able to hit it yet.
I hit!
Shall I call them out? And, jury, can you tell me exactly what you think of that one's chance? I wonder what everyone here in the TV theatre thought of Pan's people dancing for VT.
VT controls the whole bloody thing these days.
Now for a somewhat bizarre version of a Christmas classic.
This is BBC One.
You would even say it goes. All of the other reindeer used to laugh and call him names. They never let poor Rudolph join in any reindeer games. Then one foggy Christmas Eve, Santa came to say, Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh?
finally, it's time to wish everyone a Merry Christmas.
A Happy Christmas, anybody?
Happy Christmas, everybody!
I would like to wish everyone at TV Center a happy Merry Christmas on behalf of Doug. Okay, who Doug? Huh? Who Doug?
On behalf of all floor managers here at Television Centre, here's Harry to wish you all a happy Christmas.
Hi, Merry Christmas.
Harry.
This is Harold Wilson here, wishing everyone who work at the BBC a very happy Christmas.
From all of us, a Merry Christmas to the boys on VT.
And a happy Christmas to everyone in VideoTape, whoever that may be.
And I'd like to wish you all a very happy Christmas.
After a tongue-in-cheek caption card, time for celebrations across various BBC departments.
They're really rocking in network and continuity. Deep in the heart of lighting, way down in telecine. All the girls in makeup, the loonies in Presby. All the staff are gonna dance with all the guys in VT. All the guys in VT. I just heard the news, and no drunk PAs. All VPR2s. Tea room's been extended. There's no more outside high. Engineers been upgraded. Management's been fired. Oh, Barry Norman, why not come with me to dance with Terry O'Wogan and also DLT? Oh, Patrick, grooving with Michael Rod. A K9 had a bob with Jumping Jack Scott. And they'll be rocking in Grandstand and play away too. A nationwide disco twisting on the 9 o'clock news. A panorama pogo boogie with Johnny C. A Legs and Co's last tango with the guys in VT.
There's that sweater again.
Hello. I should just like to point out to all my friends in VT that I'm available for all sorts of personal appearances, discos, shop openings and that sort of thing, but no more Christmas messages.
So from me, it's both good night and goodbye.
Who wants to be a star?
Tom, sorry to bother you. Sign this for my little godson, would you? So it's a nice little kid, he's blind.
You got a pen?
I haven't. Oh, never mind. I'll tell him this one.
Is it live or is it MEMOREX? I don't know.
Durex, if you ask me.
And that, dear viewer, was Good King MEMOREX. The 1979 BBC Christmas tape is arguably a lot slicker, contains a lot more effort, and is generally just a lot better than the inaugural tape that preceded it. Grant Watkins definitely honed what he was going for in White Powder Christmas, with not only gaffes galore, but original short skits, deceptive editing, and plenty of musical numbers to boot. I imagine this would have gone down a storm at the 1979 BBC Christmas party, but like the year previous, Good King MEMOREX was only ever meant to be seen in-house, never to be beamed out to any broadcaster, and definitely not distributed to the public. Would you believe, though, it was seen as far as the United States.
Good King MEMOREX was shown in New York the day after it was made.
But unlike White Powder Christmas in 1978, Good King MEMOREX was really the first of the BBC Christmas tapes to make its own way onto the video bootleg scene. VHS had been introduced as a format a few years earlier, and whilst VCRs and the tapes themselves were still quite expensive, this didn't stop bootleggers getting their hands on a copy and reproducing and distributing them to the keen collector. Even some on Betamax as well.
Do you realise that you're... I paid for that. I paid for that.
It was an issue that would plague the Christmas tapes, and indeed the video industry, throughout the 1980s. For Grant Watkins, the young mastermind in VT behind the first two tapes, whilst his efforts were received warmly at the staff party, the unintended spread of his work didn't best please BBC bosses, and sure enough, in 1980, he was let go from his post. His VT colleague, Dave Rickson, took over producing duties, but intended to be a lot more careful than his predecessor. Rather than compiling and editing the tape on company time, Rickson would use his own free time, situated in another building entirely, to put the party piece together. Despite this more secretive nature, Bill Cotton, controller of BBC One, who by the mid-80s had ascended to the post of managing director of BBC Television, had to take action. You'd think such a decree from such a powerful person within the BBC would be enough to end the Christmas tape phenomenon entirely. Think again. Throughout the latter half of the 80s and into the 90s, the VT engineers would craft a Christmas tape that was to be shown amongst VT staff only, supposedly to minimise them leaking out. Over time, the humour moved away from producing suggestive sketches to something more scathing, something more topical, and considering this was aimed at VT staff only, this direction hardly seems surprising. Here's a clip from one 90s tape that took aim at then Director General of the BBC, John Burt.
And post-production will merge with news.
The last tape was produced in 1998, 20 years after the original. The style and production had changed considerably in that time, but for something that was meant to be seen by so few, could they have possibly made a dent amongst the TV industry? The impact of these BBC Christmas tapes was far-reaching, and in the light of the temporary ban on them, outtakes were no longer junked or shown in-house, but could be showcased on primetime television. On the Late Late Breakfast show, fronted by Noel Edmonds, bloopers that would have been seen in the VT tape were instead shown as part of the Golden Egg Awards, a faux Oscars-type ceremony celebrating the best bloopers from the Beeb.
Oh look, our old geranium's shipping through the let's go.
This idea developed further into the 90s with the show entitled Auntie's Bloomers, hosted by Terry Wogan, which explored a similar concept. Nowadays, the notion of showing outtakes from various programs on TV is about as common as you'd expect, and still a well-loved idea. Like I've said before, when you watch the early tapes like White Powder Christmas or Good King MEMOREX, a lot of what you see may seem tame or hardly controversial for a 21st century audience, but I implore you to cast your mind back to the late 70s, a time where high-profile BBC talent, swearing, taking part in suggestive skits and sketches, and occasionally acting as unprofessional as possible, would have been viewed as quite a big deal for the time. Clearly it was for the Beeb itself. They didn't want the public to view these tapes, but even in the analogue days of VHS, they did. They may seem cringy or cheesy when viewed today, but they're also, quite frankly, for the most part, quite entertaining.
Bollocks!
Thank you to our patrons for helping to support the show, and a special thank you to Macra, Sean Knock, Dord Khan, Ethan Carberry-Holt, Liam Domain, AJ Mac 200017, Jen, Traffy, Mr. Eurovision 1986, Evan Hart 42 Radio, Tim Ripley, 40-something Manchild, Mr. J McLeod, James Wallace, Ben, Stephen Oliver, Shadowfiend 180X, Swan Ronson, Adam Gamer, Sir Fonzie Daz, Matthew Elif, Pigeon's House, Seraphic Euphoria, Dave Batten, Kevin Mallon, Shah H, Liam Turner, Real Team Foxy Plays, Jenny T, Lovely Dave and Gem, Tyler McLean 316, NJ on DT84, Jimmy the Bantam, and the Macabre Tavern are AMTV staff members.